Hey guys, it's Mrs. Gert. We're going to talk about quadratic formula today. You can see up here in the top right corner, we have the quadratic formula, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This is the first quadratic equation we're starting with, and notice it's already equal to 0. This is in standard form. So the first thing you need to do is determine what a, b, and c are. So here a is the coefficient for the x squared, which there's nothing there, so it's an implied 1. B is the coefficient of x, so it's 3. And c is the constant term, which is negative 4. After you determine a, b, and c, all you have to do is substitute them in their proper locations in quadratic formula. So you get x equals negative b, our b is 3, so it's going to be negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared minus 4 times a, which is 1, times c, which is negative 4, all over 2 times a, which again is 1. Then you just start simplifying. Start underneath the square root. So you still have negative 3 plus or minus the square root. 3 squared is 9. These three terms get multiplied simultaneously, so all together. So negative 4 times 1 is negative 4, times negative 4 is a positive 16. And your denominator, 2 times 1 is 2. Keep simplifying underneath your radical. 9 plus 16 is 25. So we have negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 25 over 2. Then actually square root it. 25 is a perfect square, so it square roots evenly to be 5. So we have negative 3 plus or minus 5 over 2. From here, you have to set up your two cases, the positive case and the negative case. So the positive case is negative 3 plus 5 over 2. Negative is negative 3 minus 5. And then you just solve each case. So negative 3 plus 5 is 2. So we get x equals 2 over 2, which if you simplify that gives you 1. Negative case, negative 3 minus 5 is negative 8. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4. So looking right now, it appears that we have two real solutions to this quadratic equation. You always have to check your answers. Remember, to check your answers, you go back to your original function and plug it in anytime there's an x. So let's check the 1 first. We plug that in for every x, we'd have 1 squared plus 3 times 1 minus 4 equals 0. And remember, with checking, you're checking to see if both sides are congruent. So 1 squared is 1, 3 times 1 is 3. We have 1 plus 3 minus 4 equals 0. Then you just combine like terms. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. So we end up with 0 equals 0, which is a true statement. So that is a valid solution. Check the other solution, negative 4. We'd have negative 4 squared plus 3 times negative 4 minus 4 equals 0. Negative 4 squared is a positive 16. 3 times negative 4 is a negative 12. So we have 16 minus 12 minus 4 equals 0. 16 minus 12 is 4. And 4 minus 4 is 0. So again, we have 0 equals 0, which is a valid solution. So we do indeed have two real solutions at x equals 1 and x equals negative 4. Let's look at a slightly different quadratic. Here we have an a value that is larger than 1. So here our a is 9, b is 12, and c is 4. So same process. You're going to substitute those into your quadratic formula where applicable. So we have negative 12 plus or minus the square root of 12 squared minus 4 times 9 times 4 all over 2 times 9. Simplify inside. Get negative 12 plus or minus 12 squared is 144. Negative 4 times 9 times 4 is a negative 144. So right now under our square root we have 144 minus 144. Denominator 2 times 9 is 18. Still simplifying inside your square root, 144 minus 144 is 0. So we get negative 12 plus or minus the square root of 0 over 18. Square root of 0 is 0. So we get x equals negative 12 plus or minus 0 over 18. Set up your two cases. The positive case, you get negative 12 plus 0 over 18. Negative case, you get x equals negative 12 minus 0 over 18. Solving the positive case, negative 12 plus 0 is negative 12 over 18. Negative 12 over 18 does not divide evenly, but it does reduce. You divide each of those by 6. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 18 divided by 6 is 3. So we end up with x equals negative 2/3. Solving the negative case, negative 12 minus 0 is still negative 12. And negative 12 over 18, again, does not divide evenly, it just reduces. So here, both of our x's equal negative 2/3. Since these two answers are the same, we really only have one real solution, which means it only crosses the x-axis one time. Again, make sure you always check your answer. Since we only have one answer because they're the same, we're only going to have to check one time. So again, substitute them in for x. We'd have 9 times negative 2/3 squared plus 12 times negative 2/3 plus 4 equals 0. Square your fraction first. When you square a fraction, you square the numerator and square the denominator. So negative 2 squared is 4 over 3 squared is 9. So negative 2/3 squared is 4 over 9. So we have 9 times 4/9 plus 12 times negative 2/3 plus 4 equals 0. 9 times 4/9, this is like 9 over 1. So you multiply fractions straight across. 9 times 4 is 36. 1 times 9 is 9. So we get 36 over 9, which reduces to 4. Same thing here. 12 is like 12 over 1. Multiply straight across. 12 times negative 2 is negative 24. 1 times 3 is 3. So we get negative 24 over 3, which is negative 8. Bring down the plus 4 equals 0. We end up with 4 minus 8 plus 4 equals 0. 4 minus 8 is negative 4. And negative 4 plus 4 is 0. So that is a valid solution. So we have one real solution at x equals negative 2/3.